Alright, hey guys, we're going to continue doing artwork for the Spelljammer Combat and Exploration supplement that we've been building. So give me a second here to check my signal, make sure I'm coming through okay, and then we will go through an intro spiel and then get to work. So doing a mic check, 1, 2, 3. Check, mic check, 1, 2, 3. Check. Hey, that's me. I have a bit of a Haganagas this morning. I'll try not to clear my throat in your ear too much. I'm going to press some buttons here across the discards. And we'll get this thing going. So let's see. Press some buttons here. Let's see. Reply. Blurp. I gotta grab my signal over here. Copy. Blurp. Paste. And okay. Hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games. I illustrate them. I publish them online. I've been focusing attention on Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition since Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica came out back in, was that 27? Could have been 2017. 2018? There's a slew of books in the description down below of 5th edition stuff that I've already created that are published on the DMsGuild, including the 5-color mana spell point variant rule bundle, which is what inspired me to get started with Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica, was creating a 5-color magic option instead of spell slots and the 8 schools of magic, using the 5-color mana system of tapping and burning mana to cast and maintain magic. So you can check that stuff out. When I build books, it's generally stuff that I actually use in my own campaigns that I needed more mechanical. I wanted more mechanical depth than what was being provided for the kind of campaign that I wanted to run. So I'll play test a thing, and if it works out well, then we'll hire an editor, start wordsmithing our stuff together, and once all the text is pretty on the page, we'll start building illustrations. So let's get to work. Here, let's drop. Well, here's the here's the book that we've been building. You can see there's gaps in each page here. If I can have my thank you. Thank you. Yes, that's a lot of pages. It's 106 pages right now. There we go, 107 pages. Right. So we are down here in the Creature's Menagerie today. So we break up the ideas into digestible pieces on each page. Once we have the layouts completed, we'll zoom into a particular one page here. You can see blank spots here for the illustrations to go amidst the different creature listings, and then we'll go over here and put the page into place and start doing the illustrations on the page. So that's what we're going to do today, some more background illustration stuff. Here's other things that we completed. Basically doing the same smudge work here to blend the background of the monsters into the background of the creatures that we have on each page. And here's a bigger one. All right, so let's see what we can do. Let's see. Check. Okay, great. This is the book cover that we created, and if you wanted to catch up on that, you can jump over here to the more list, and that was here in the full playlist, which is back around episode 15 that we created this book cover. You can check that out. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications when I'm live in the future. And yeah, so let's get started. Got a timer going on my clock. I'm going to take a sip of coffee here. Perfect. Let's see. Let's go here. So I stream 6 days a week, and I publish a video on Sundays. God damn it, I was supposed to create I was supposed to update my Discord link and add it to my description. Anyone that wants to jump into my Discord, I will get a new link up on my Patreon today. So you can, there's a link down below to my Patreon. You don't have to be a member to access the information that lets you into my Discord page. I just have to update the link. So I'll do that after we finish here. I'm gonna actually set a reminder for myself here real quick to make sure I don't miss out on that yet. Come on, man. Oh, man. I need, yeah, my alarm here, and we're going to go with, that's it. Updating this to update Discord. Save. Okay, so we're doing Spelljammer art this morning. At lunchtime today, we are going to continue working on the Spelljammer Eberron Asteroid Belt campaign that I will be running for my own personal home table. And this will be episode, is this going to be episode 3 or 4? I think episode 4. Anyway, we're going to do that. So if you find this interesting today, or if you've been checking out the creation of this book and you want to learn more, then you are certainly welcome to tune in with me at lunchtime today and see me try to put pull a bunch of different pieces together to make a new type of campaign. So looking forward to doing some more of that. It's a resource management. It has a 4X resource management aspect to the game, kind of like Civilization or StarCraft might be a better description of it, where the team has a guild, a mercantile guild that harvests asteroids for ore that they can sell, and then use the wealth that they gain from the mining operation to fund their adventuring, like an adventuring guild, right? They need military to protect their miners. They need to hire miners to extract the wealth. They need contract with refineries to smelt the ore into metals that can be sold, and then there's different degrees of rarity and wealth that each asteroid has based on what sort of ore is in the rock. So, like copper, gold, platinum, mithril, Bieshk from Eberron's. Bieshk metal is in Eberron is basically an anti-demon. It's like silver to lycanthropes, Bieshk is to demons. So it's valuable, but there's also crystals in orbit, so they can, instead of it being an asteroid, it's a gem or a massive crystal of varying purity that can be harvested for breaking down into chunks of jewelry or mana crystals. To its largest value is the mana crystal, which is you can gem cut these things so that they hold points of mana that can then be used as batteries to drop into machines and power up your spell power stuff. So very Magically Gathering artifact sort of approach to that particular type of fantasy. But so the team will be able to expand their territory, which will bring larger amounts of conflict to them. The reason, the noble cause behind the guild is that occasionally asteroids are have a trajectory to hit the planet and potentially kill a bunch of people. So one of the requirements of having an orbital contract is to help defend the planet from rockfall. So that's a random encounter that can occur occasionally and requires resources to divert or destroy the incoming rock. So we're going to start sussing out expending resources, how much things cost, and start fleshing out some minor potential plot points. They'll have territory defense and fighting pirates and poachers with fighter craft. So that's your like overland, large scale combat, or it can get intimate with like specific, like you can play Wedge or whatever, and have a particular like squadron of elite fighters that the team could develop as side characters. There is I'm gonna merge this down right now. And then there's dungeon delving or rock delving, where they go into and remove any aberrations or monstrosities that could damage the mining crew once they start attempting to extract wealth from the asteroid. These creatures are disrupted by the rock, their home being destroyed. I mean, you can't blame them. But at the other hand, they are monstrosities and abominations that will eat you if you leave them be. So, I mean, I can appreciate them wanting to defend their territory and only having teeth to do it with, but they were made with teeth because they're supposed to eat things, and when they make that they gotta go. But then the Star Druids kind of view that as disrupting a natural environment. So there are an NPC druid sect that basically deals attacks and tries to destroy the different mining operations with monsters that they take control of in the depths of wild space, and then bring to the asteroid belt, or find them in the asteroid belt and then provoke them to attack mining operations. So they're labeled as eco-terrorists, and are often either have a capture or kill on sight bounty on them. So that's something that team can mess around with. So we have heists. We have defense operations, like against poachers, pirates, and monsters and druids. There's the rock delving to clear monsters out of asteroids that can threaten the mining crews, or that are discovered during a mining operation and need to be beaten back while the mining team extracts the wealth that they need without getting killed. And then there are heist missions, where the team a team needs to perform covert operations to attain or retrieve some sort of resource or information. This could be like information about location of different groups, or like the expected flight pattern of different valuable asteroids that may be in orbit but had fallen through somebody else's territory. So like a month or two from now, it could fall into the team's space to be in bounds for mining. The teams have fixed or have geocentric positions in orbit that when asteroids come through that space that's specifically under their territory, they have free rights. They have rights to mine and deal with that asteroid as they please, as long as it doesn't rain anything down on the planet. Or, like I said, occasionally there might be asteroids that are on projection towards the planet that specifically have to be destroyed, and that becomes the team's responsibility to deal with it. But when it leaves their zone, assuming it doesn't go planet falling, but if it's still in orbit and it leaves their zones in orbit and it goes to some other place in orbit, then it's out of their territory. So unless they want to go and attempt to poach that asteroid in somebody else's territory, they're going to have to let it go. So they have to gather as much resources as they can while it's within zone for them, to be able to harvest from it without unrivaled. Unless poachers show up, in which case they have to defend it from them. So there's the heists about discovering information. There's a neutral zone. There's a ring around the planet that's called Hub. It's a neutral zone where people can go for rest, relaxation. That's where administration stuff happens. It's where the refineries are, and every faction has a embassy there. So it's possible for you to commit espionage against these different organizations at their facilities or their embassies if you really wanted to get bold. So that becomes a third type of adventure that the team can have. There's no violence in Hub, so any military operations are automatically going to be illegal, so they have to be mindful of that. Everything they do has to be covert. And then negotiations is the fourth type of adventure, which is instead of violence to resolve a conflict with a rival guild, you can attempt negotiations to create a verbal or written contract with the organization for them to yield conceits to your demands, depending on what kind of leverage or military strength you may have over them and who it is that you're contending with. So there can be variables there. So these are active adventure ideas that the team can pursue, and then any emergent story that comes from them dealing with the tasks of the campaign open up. Like if they keep getting raided by pirates from a rogue nation, then they're going to have to negotiate either a sue for peace, or are going to have to conduct a military operation to clear them from their zone. And it's up to the team to decide how they want to deal with that. But if they don't deal with it somehow, it's going to continue escalating. It'll become something they have to deal with for them to continue operating at all. So we're going to hash through some more of that stuff today at lunch, and goal is to start in March, but to bring something new to the table each week to help keep formulating an image in their minds about where the campaign is going and what we're going to be what's the word? Why was I chasing misses? I'm sure I had a good reason. I just completely blanked. Don't mind me. I've got my lazy, I'm tired voice on, and I think that's probably killing interest. Oh man, it tastes pretty good this day. All right, I had less than a minute to go until my alarm popped, so I'm going to take that as an early coffee break. Let's see, how's this looking? Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Let's take some of this darker splotch down here and see what happens if we put it here. It might mess with these scavers. Is this? But is it looking good? Kind of looking good. Kind of don't hate that. Yeah, okay, we can keep that. Let's do like this. There we go. There we go. That's pretty good. Oops. Yeah, let's do like that. Cool. And now let's do some star splashes. Grab this as my base color. Why not? Nope, too dark. Cool. And then we can that feels pretty good. Let's take these and then we'll do a blur and a Gaussian blur. There. This, and then we'll filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Merge down. Good. Yeah. Take some of the bite off of that so it doesn't draw too much attention. Feels pretty good. Good enough. Wait. There we go. All right, that's not perfect. There we go. I think that's probably gonna be okay. That feels a lot better. God damn it. I know I'm dealing with percentiles here. But to me, it's important. There we go. Okay, cool. That's good. So I can go ahead and seal that up. And I wanted to pick at this just a little bit more today. I didn't like where this got left off at. There. It's like a lot of stars going on over here, but then immediately there's no stars. It's a tell that I'm fucking around with my borders. So I need more star stuff over here. What's going on with you, buddy? My nub's burning down. It's starting to scrape on my board weird. There. I'll have to swap out my nib, the little tip on my pen. It wears down over time. The act of painting grinds it down. Nice little racket they've got going on here. Love it. All right, let's do this, and we'll grab. I take an eraser very low. What are we at? 20%. So each time I drag my eraser across here, it reduces the brightness of these stars 20%. So that works pretty well. And then I can go through and do some spot grabbing like this and this and this. Copy and paste, and then do the same filter blur, Gaussian blur. Drop it to here. Merge down, and then we do it again. And I burn those down. Here like this, cut, paste, and then filter, blur, Gaussian blur again, there, and then save, and then merge down. feels right. Merge down. We're going to do an advanced technique, rotate. Merge, paste. Transform, rotate. I actually like that a lot. So I'll do that. Nice. Merge that down. There, merge that down. Burn that down a bit. There we go. Let's ooh. There. That feels pretty good. Yeah, legit good. I'm going to take a slice here, copy, paste, and drag them over. Let's see here. Can't have black stars in your white background. That doesn't make any sense, so we rotate and flip. There we go. That's good enough. Now, do I want to do anything dark and sinister over here? Science pointed no, but let's fuck around for a minute and find out. Yeah, no, I already hate that. All right, we're just gonna leave that be like that. So now we get to lock this down, and then what? Is there anything going on here? Yeah, we got a splash we can do down here. We already did a splash down here, so we want this one to look unique, but still have the same, you know, aesthetic. Aesthetic. So we're going to appease. There we go. We'll muck this stuff up, and then we'll toss stars on top of it too. That's how we do it. Just have the same problem with this clustering over here, so we'll have to grab at some stars and drag them into the mess here. And make sure this is good. Creatures towing ships. Creatures such as Kandori, Scavers, or unusual Pegasi can be trained like a team of horses drawing a wagon, or controlled by magic to tow ships. You know what? I don't like that. That's where I'm looking. Such as Scavers. Tap. Such as Kandori, Scavers can be trained. Good. I wanted to get there's that widow down here. A widow is when there's a single word down on its own line. And it's kind of clumsy looking, you know? So you got to fix that shit. Here's another example of that. Similar to unusual beasts, unusual plants exist in wild space, feeding upon unfiltered light from stars within the system, or from other sources such as fireworlds. Feeding on unfiltered, feeding upon the light. I can just do this. Feeding upon the light, stars within the system. There. Just getting rid of widows where I don't need them, just by changing the wording a little bit. Good. Good. I can save that. Does not affect the overall piece. Checking. Yeah. If this is good here, it's good here too. So fine. Good. Glad we did. If I really want to be secure. This is page 77. So let's filter. Let's go to File, Export, create a PDF. Interior pages, creatures, 77, options, current page only, document only, no properties or accessibility, publish, single page, there you go. undo, save, close, open, creatures, 77, page, okay, copy, paste in place, remove, txt, there you go. All right, cool. So this is how things should actually be sitting now. Here's the revisions that we made to the page just now, and that now allows us to continue manipulating this space. So let's go back to the front here and make sure I'm not duplicating the same sort of look. See, I've got a similar look going on, so I need a different look. No, it's looking like that. Right, we can do like this. Excuse me for a second. AFK. I'm here, but I'm not, you know? I heard a weirdness. I gotta check it out. All right, I'm back. There's been a stray cat kicking around my area of my neck of the woods, and I'm trying to befriend it. Because it's wintertime and it's cold out, and I want to make sure the little furry baby's okay. I'm a big cat enthusiast. I've had many, many cats in my years. I don't think I'm quite ready to be responsible for one, like to keep one indoors full time. But I would certainly love to make friends with a couple in the neighborhood and have them feel comfortable enough to come and visit my home for a little while occasionally. Bribe them with some milk and cheese, perhaps. Cats love cheese. That's why they fight mice so much. They both love the same food, and there's not enough, they think, to go around, so they compete over it. The cats know that mice like cheese, so they figure if they eat they eat the mouse, they end up getting the cheese too. I mean, it's a form of logic. That's cat logic, I guess. That's wizard's chess. Indeed, Ronald. Let's do that. Grr. Good. Too many stars packed over here, man. It's just when I start doing illustration, when I don't have illustrations over here, the amount of star density is, I'm fine with it. But when I'm actually sculpting corners like this, I do not like how much star density there is. Go. And this will finish the Creature Menagerie chapter. So, honestly, I think when I finish this, I think I'm going to do the same sort of corner work in other pages throughout the document to have so that this isn't unique to the Creature's Menagerie. Anywhere there's a little paragraph spot on the page that I can dump some stars and space into, I should probably do it just as a general theme, you know? Maybe there'll be a spot that's large enough for me to put a planet in. Casually drop a planet into the corner, whatever. Just disperse that enough. Keep that fluffedness going on here. Do. The trick here is to make it look chaotic, but to have good composition as well. So there has to be a certain level of completion for it to not look haphazard. But if I try to make it too organized, it feels manufactured, you know? So this is really fine points between form and chaos that end up making this astral cloud look good. Just like that. I'm sensing a presence. There. Okay, now we're starting to work this in. I like these little highlights that we keep in here, but I don't want them to be overly dramatic. Blend in like that. There. So we're going to be back at lunchtime. Again, we're going to be back at lunch doing the adventure development. And we'll be back tomorrow morning. I have no idea what we're going to do tomorrow morning, but we stream Saturday morning, and then I create a video that publishes on Sunday, and it's typically about Spelljammer, and we'll continue making little Spelljammer videos throughout the rest of the production of this piece. And then Monday I'll be back doing more of this stuff in the morning. Hopefully, I'll be done with Light of Zaraxis by Monday. By the end of Monday. Maybe not by the beginning of Monday, but I think by Tuesday, I'm going to be running around town on Tuesday and Wednesday a bit, so I'm not sure exactly what my schedule is going to be like for production. Like lunchtime, I'm not sure what my lunch times. I should know by the end of today what my lunchtime schedule will be next week, and my morning availability. My evening streams on Monday and Thursday will be uninterrupted. Monday morning and Monday lunch will be as usual, and then Tuesday, sometimes I stream lunch on Tuesdays and sometimes on Wednesdays. It really depends on what my home table, my adventure table is doing. And but I have some goofiness going on in my week, so I'll know whether I'll be streaming on Tuesday, Wednesday, or at all. I might not be able to do either one on Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. I might have to skip that day. I'm not sure. I don't have any makeup days. But luckily, that's just campaign development. It's not actual production time that I'm losing. How are we doing on time? 7:20? Fire up the next batch. Batch. There's that, and I want to look at this again. Pretty big chunk of change, isn't it? Change comes within my child. Let's see what happens when I press this button. Good enough. All right, let's just clean up this corner a little bit. We'll drop some stars in, and we'll find another page to fuck around with. Does this really look? Oh, that's pretty similar now. Edges a little bit to tough that up. There we go. Yeah, it feels pretty good. Little cleanup over here. And then we'll drop some stars in. There we go. Get that jaggedness out of there. Soften it up a bit. Because clouds are mostly about keeping things soft and tufty. I mean, there could be hard-edged clouds, but it's not common. Feels about right. Good. Yeah, I think I can be content with that. So let's drop in some stars. Star splash on a black background. Nope, see too dark. There, like that, and then we'll take this and we'll merge that down. And we'll erase it all this as well a little bit. Pop, 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 pop. And then we'll duplicate the layer to make it pop out again. I want to do okay. Push down, new layer. Way too obtrusive. There we go. a little bit. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Up it a bit, save, merge these things together. Oh, filter, blur, Gaussian blur. There's a bit. Down, pull up the light a bit, put another bit, too big. Duplicate, merge, copy, paste, filter, blur, blur. There. Paste, filter, blur, Gaussian blur. No, not liquid. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Up that a touch. Merge it down, and yeah, I think it looks pretty good. So we're going to leave that like that. That concludes our chapter on Creature Menageries. And save again. Let's kill this window. No. Kill that. File. Open. Interior pages. So we can take the Creature's Menagerie and drop it into done. Why would you have that problem? Cancel. What's open elsewhere? No, chapter art's okay. What is the why? Because the folder or file in it is open in another program. I don't see anything anywhere else, so let's pop this open and go to interior pages here. Hey Bills, how you doing? Good old Windows, acting goofy and shit. I really don't understand. What does it think has open? What could possibly be open that's of interest to this thing? I'm really concerned about this. There we go. Fuck you, buddy. Jesus. I only had to shut down half my shit to get that to work. Nice. How you doing today, Coco? I've still got 20 minutes left, right? Probably a little less. Let's open up something else. What's going on with my hair today? Jesus. Let's see. I guess we start at the beginning, right? Waiting for this file to catch up. It's a big one. What's up? Yeah, okay. Are there any planet-sized asteroids? No. Sometimes apocalypse size that planet. Planet size. I mean, the planet itself is 8,000 miles in diameter. There are chunks of rock that are hundreds of miles across, but not thousands of miles. Maybe I'm just splitting hairs with you. That I would say. Moon-sized chunks, yes, but not in the orbit that they're at. So there's just use this as a quick doodle. So there's the planet, and it gets blasted, right? So it sends out debris everywhere, which is where the team is messing around at. But in the core here, there are chunks of rock like this that are still remnant to the planet. And then you have the close orbit ring called Hub that has formed orbit around the shadow remnants of the planet. And then the planet itself has a detonated core to it. So the core of the planet is still at the core, but we have all these asteroids that are floating around it. And then, so we have the large land masses here that are trapped in orbit around the core of the planet. Like Aundair is here, and like Brayland is here, and Corvair is here, and Gabara is here, and like Zendrik is here. And so if this is the core, then we have like Zendrik and I forget the name of the dragon. There's a continent ruled by dragons, so that one's sunk deeper into the core. And then we have where Corvair and what was Sorlona are at here, that kind of orbit out like this. And then we have further out is now the ring, the new ring that goes around the whole cluster called Hub. And then there's the asteroids of all the stuff that got flung out of the core, but then caught orbit and started coming back in, which is why there's asteroids that are falling towards and past through Hub, because there's so much of the planet that got blown out, and then it just slowly comes back around again. So that's the general idea. So there's the core, which is the core of the planet, which is basically like radioactive magic. And then there's the the deep continents, Zendrick and Arganessen. I think, yeah, that's the name of it. Zendrick and Arganessen are close to the core. And there's high levels of magic, like chaos magic, that are at the core of the planet. And then so Zendrick, which is known for chaos magic, and Arganessen, which are dragons, which can take in and control that chaos. They have this level of security by being deeper towards the core. It becomes dangerous for ships to fly into that area. And then you have further out, which is a stable area, the surface level that we expect to be at, where Corvair and Sarlona got blown apart. But they still exist at the same elevation as those continents used to exist at. They're now just floating chunks of rock with expanse separating the two of them. There's the ring that's further out, which is a collective stable region of mantle that got blown out, pulled back in, but then found a stable orbit that slowly fused together into an actual solid ring of stone that has like forestry and rivers and stuff on it. And then further out again is the general cloud of asteroids that flung out however far and then start to fall back to the planet that's in the process of mining operations. And then even further out are the moons. But the moons aren't actually physical rocks. The moons are portals. Like when you see a moon across the night sky, that's not a rock that's moving through space. That is a hole, a portal that leads to another dimension. The 13 planes that orbit Eberron are these disks of planes. So when they wane, the portal closes, and when it waxes, the portal opens again. And when the moon is full, the portal is completely open, and things might come through and drift through astral space to eventually end up at the cloud, which is why there's all these monsters that are out in the far realm, because the space between the planar of the moon portals and the asteroid cloud, the far realm, that's just reaches of space. And if there are unnatural creatures like aberrations, elementals, demons, celestials, those type of creatures can travel the expanse from the portal moons to the asteroid cloud. But they really need to have a reason to do that. So usually there's not much interference between the two, but if the team ever drifts themselves out far enough into the far realm to get past all the cloud of asteroids, they're going to have a long stretch of nothing that will eventually lead them to a portal that will take them to another plane of existence, which may, like if they find Infernia, like a fire, like a disc of fire, that would be a portal that leads to Infernia, the realm of radiance and fire. And it's just a bunch of fire elemental stuff there. It's going to be super fucking hostile for them. So limiting the scope of the campaign to be only within the asteroid debris field or closer, and keeping them off of the planet. The closest they get to is hub. So the campaign spans from hub to the edge of far realm. That strip of uninhabitable zone is what they're exploring their space, if that makes sense. So right now I'm traipsing through the pages to see if there's like, this isn't large enough to warrant having blurble. That would just crowd the piece. Is that blending? That is not blending. Does it blend? Kind of want to. Zadali. So here's how the orrery A wild space orrery can be attached to the spelljamming ship by placing it in an orrery station. The multiple orrery stations can be attached to a spelljamming ship, and spelljamming helms are also orrery stations. Wild space orreries. Wild space orreries are portable arcane devices that can detect and track the movement of massive objects within a wild space system, as described in SAIS, Spelljammer's Adventures in Space, which we define up above. A creature can attune to an orrery to use its basic feature. Instead of attuning to it, focusing on an orrery placed in an orrery station or a spelljamming helm attached to a ship grants additional benefits. A creature can use the orrery without attunement. A creature can see and hear what's happening on and around the ship as if the creature were standing in the location of its choice aboard it. A creature can sense objects at great distance, as described in the exploration section below. A creature can perform actions listed under the support and commander roles detailed below in the ship role section. So the orrery station empowers the character to take actions. Looks like I need to fix how this thing is sitting on the page. So this is actually really good that I'm here, because apparently this is kind of fuckered up. Let's close that up. Let's take the text. Why are you doing that, buddy? Oh, I know why. There. Now that feels off. And I don't like how close this text is getting down here, so what I want to do is I want to resize this a touch. Why are you so big? What? There's some weirdness going on here. I'm going to conceal that. Where are we at? Page 6. Let's go to our document. Open that back up again. We'll go to page 6. We'll extract that page, drop it back in, make sure everything's fitting in it properly. This is where we're at. Page 6. File, export. Call it page 6. Options is current page only, just the documents, no notations, properties, or application. And publish. Pop open a page. Success. Undo to get our frame back. So we already have everything lined up here. That spacing is better there. Is that too crowded? There's nothing specifically sacred about that spacing. So yeah, let's raise that up a little bit so it's not so hedged in. Let's do that again. First we're going to hit save. Now we're going to get rid of that again. Page 6. Good. So file, export. I'm about to be doing a lot of this stuff. Like next week, I'm going to be doing a lot of this type of work specifically. Interior pages, done. Equipment and ships, page 6. Options equals current page only, document, no notation, properties, or comments. Okay, and publish. Replace, yes. Single page pops open. Looks good. Close that. Hit undo to get our frame back. Hit save so we don't lose it. You see that was off like a hair. I had to fix that. Good. Hit save again. Let's go back to our page. File, open. Page 6. Click, open. Select all, copy, paste into place, and not so bad. That sits okay. That sits okay. Let's trim here. Let's do that. Now let's raise this to its proper position. There we go. Whew, that guy's chugging slow. Oh, that's interesting. Can I be cheeky with this? Do I have enough gap over here? I think I do. Then the question becomes, is this lining up properly? And so far the answer is fucking no. Get that angle right. There. Oh, my focusy face. be about like that. Boy, I am not 100% satisfied with that. Yeah. Meh. How are we doing on time? 750 something? 756. All right, can I nudge this shit? Zadalia alone. Let's grab the Navigator. Clean up that corner. Duplicate. Free transform. Flip horizontal. Slide it into place. Now we feel properly framed. That feels good. Okay, I can let that sit like that. I am content. So now we have a fair little Ori station set up. Frame is a little off. Why are you so... Ooh. There. And there. Okay, cool. That got it. All right, cool. We're sitting pretty now. Do I like how the text is up here? A wild space Ori can be attached to Ori Station. Ori Station, by placing it in a wild space Ori can be attached to a spelljamming helm by placing it in an Ori Station. Multiple Ori Stations can be attached to a spelljamming ship, and spelljamming helms are also Ori Stations. Ori's, and then we have the Wild Space Ori again down here, and we have Zadali sitting pretty. Good girl. And, okay, cool. So that page is good. So we'll stitch that up. This was worth the effort. I'm glad I'm going through all these again. Looking for spaces where we'll need openings. I feel like you're not supposed to be so low on the page. Is that how low you are on the page? I feel like I fixed that. Oof. Yeah, tight fit. I don't like text getting this low on the page, but occasionally it's necessary. And yeah, see, yeah, we've fixed this one since, so that's good. So that one is resolved, and that page. See, I could potentially put a thing down here, but I'll have to re-grab this page. But that is a possibility. So we'll take that one off of reservation. This one is chock full. See, we're pushing text down close to the edge of the page again, but it can't really be helped to keep the spacing that we have. Vessels. We already have an illustration for that. And we're in the next chapter. Okay, cool. I'm going to hit save here. We are done for the day, my guys. I'm going to hit save here as well, but we'll probably come back to this. So we'll come back and visit these pages probably a few times, but this is where we're getting to in the process. Once we're finished up all the little corner bits, then we'll start taking all the pieces and then dropping their shapes into actually, we need to finish up Act 1, 2, and 4 for Light of Xeraxis. So after I finish doing this corner work, we'll go back through and we'll drop all the assets into the Xeraxis pages, and then we can start fusing everything together. So I'm hoping to have Xeraxis done by Monday night, and so for the rest of the 10 some odd days that we have, all we have to do is string shit up, and that should go pretty smoothly. So I'll be back at lunchtime in about probably in about 5 hours. Let's call it 5 hours. I'll be back. Yep. To do more campaign design for the Eberron Spelljammer campaign. And thanks a lot. Billsman. Coco, thanks for hanging out with me, guy. And I'll see everyone else on the other side when I get to. Cheers.